today for the presentation, What's New with WW, Introducing My WW Plus. Again, we're really happy to have you on the line today. So I can begin with just brief introductions, and then we'll move you ahead through the presentation. This is Afia Bediako, WorkWell NYC Program Coordinator, and I'm also joined with Kathleen Skirvin, WW Client Engagement Specialist.
Hi, everyone. As Afia mentioned, my name is Kathleen Skirvin, and you may remember the predecessors before me, Carly and perhaps Aaron, but I am your new point of contact when it comes to everything WW. If there's any questions you have, any issues you have with getting people enrolled in the program or need some materials for WW, of course, always ask Afia, but I'm here to help as well.
Thanks, Kathleen. So I will offer a brief introduction to WorkWell NYC for those who need to know or may need a refresher, and explain to you a bit about the relationship that we have with WW, and then I will give it back to Kathleen to give us the bulk of the presentation. So just as an introduction, WorkWell NYC is the city's employee wellness initiative. Our activities support employees with resources and educational items, tasks that help you all to move more, be well, take action, and eat well. And we have a relationship with WW, and together with the city's unions and there's a partnership with WW. So the next slide will be able to show more details about that. So together with the New York City Employee Benefits Program and the city's unions, WorkWell NYC has partnered with WW to provide city employees and their families tools to build healthy habits. WW offers a science-based program, digital tools, and an inspiring community to bring wellness into everyday life. And I'll pass it back to Kathleen to offer our agenda for the day.
Great, thanks, Afia. So some things that we'll be talking about, just an overview of the WW program. Some of you, might need a little bit of a refresher of just where we have come from since we've been around for such a long time. Talking about the impact you all have made as ambassadors, which we're extremely grateful for. And then you heard us mention My WW Plus, so we'll be certainly sharing updates about what My WW Plus is and some exciting promotions we have that you can share out with your colleagues. And then we want to hear back from you. We want to make this as interactive as possible, so we'll have a chance for you to ask questions, but we also want to know what you're experiencing as an ambassador, the questions you have and your needs, so we can best support you. So like I said, we've been around since the 60s, a very long time. And actually, New York is our birthplace. We started in Queens, just in Jean Nidetch, our founder, in her small home in Queens, New York, long time ago. And community has always been such a huge thing about WW. I have to say that that's probably the thing that's stuck with us the most over time. We're always trying to keep up with like the latest science and have a great science and behavioral science team that's dedicated to making this the most effective program for members. But she really just wanted to get people together and just help support one another when it came to being well and practicing healthier behaviors. So it was a great network of support that they were able to create for themselves long ago. But today, our purpose is we inspire healthy habits for real life. So we are a lifestyle. We don't want nothing is off the table. We want people to still have the foods they like and eat them. Nothing is off limits. So, and it's meant to be as freeing and flexible for members. Everyone loses weight very differently, and it's a very personal journey. So WW is something that we can truly say will inspire and help everyone, whether that be for the individual. We know that when a person, maybe in the family, starts making healthier choices, that's going to have a ripple effect upon their family members and ultimately communities and everyone. So no matter what your walk of life is, WW is really accepting of all. And here are our pillars. So Nutrition and weight loss, that has always been the keystone of our program and still is very important. That is, still a basis and foundation of our program. But you can't have successful weight loss and or just like eating better when you don't put these other aspects into the loop. So getting activity, increasing your activity into your day, that is going to help you be better off. Also, when making these healthier changes in your life, when you develop a more positive mindset, sometimes it's hard to get there. A lot of people join WW, or when they join, they're not at that stage yet. They are looking for the tips to help them get in the proper frame of mind in order to make these healthier choices for themselves. So we definitely want to support our members in that way so they are set up for the most success. And then sleep, that is the latest and newest pillar of our program. We want to make sure we're there for our members when it comes to getting better sleep at night. When you're not getting enough sleep, we know that you're less likely to get activity into your day, less likely to get up and move around. You're more likely to probably eat out a lot and eat things that are not necessarily the best for you. So we want to help our members just make the choices that are going to be most helpful for them. Okay, and now a little bit about the partnership between the city, WorkWell NYC, and WW. Okay. So just a refresher, I want to let you all know employees, spouses, domestic partners, and adult dependents ages 18 to 26. And retirees can follow WW however they choose through with the City of New York. So there's two different plans that are available to the city's population. And that's our digital plan. So our digital plan, I'll touch base a little bit further about this down into the presentation, but it's really developed. We've come a long way with the digital aspect of our program. So this is our app and access to our website. In the app, that is where you do all your food tracking. That's where you can do the new sleep tracking, activity tracking. We also have videos, workout videos, meditations that you can listen to, over 8,000 recipes, a barcode scanner. So when you're in the grocery store, you can simply scan something without picking it up and making the decision to put it into your basket. That's one of my favorites. Restaurant Finder. We have almost all chain restaurants within the WW app. So if you end up ordering in or eating out one night, you can look up Applebee's and just see what is in your points budget for the day. So that is our digital plan. Lots more to it. I'll explain a little bit further along more about it. But then also the Workshops Plus digital plan. So this has everything that I just mentioned, but then you have access to attending either in-person workshops and virtual workshops. You can attend both. Right now in the city, I don't think we have any places open right now for in-person workshops, but eventually we will be. And that was something that we had done highly before, is letting welcoming members into our studios to have workshops. And some of you are probably familiar with the workshops we had at city locations for employees to attend while they were at work. But we realized virtual is, the way that people are experiencing work a lot these days. And that is, we now have virtual workshops available just to the city employees that they can attend. It's very exclusive. If you're not a city employee, you cannot access the group. You have to be a city employee and a WW member for some specific ones that I'll tell you more about. So the city generously covers over 50% of the cost of both of these programs. So you can see here, when it comes down to it, for the employee price of the digital plan, that is going to be $7 a month. And then for the Workshops Plus digital plan, that is going to be $12 a month. And that is going to be at least through the end of March that will be the offering. It was slightly higher before, but because of the, the concerns with COVID and not having access to the workshops at work, which were something people really enjoyed when we had them, we've decreased the cost for a little bit just to make that a little bit better for our members. And then spouses, domestic partners, dependents, retirees, they get preferred pricing at $14 per month for the digital plan, and then $24 a month for the workshops plus digital. So still a very significant discount for those family members as well. And all this information can be found at www.com/US/NYC. I just want to make sure you all have this site ingrained in you, or just like have it available. Just always have it handy. It's the site that you can always instruct people to go if they have any questions about the partnership, and that's where they can go to sign up. Okay. I'll turn it back over to Afia.
So just to give a little bit more background about our history with WW. So more than 5 years we've been in relationship with WW, and 2020 was a really special year for us, and a really complicated year for the two reasons that are listed. So the beginning of the year, February 2020, we had the great opportunity to be invited to participate in Oprah Winfrey's 2020 Vision Tour. So last February, our workplace workshop that was housed at One Police Plaza with NYPD was invited to be honored in the tour at Barclays, the Brooklyn stop of this nationwide tour that Oprah did in partnership with WW. And that was a really great honor and really great opportunity and great recognition for the successes of this relationship with New York City that exists between WW and New York City. Additionally, several of our ambassadors got the opportunity to do a walk with Oprah, as pictured here in Brooklyn Bridge Park. And again, just being able to highlight the success of the city workforce, the work that you all do, and particularly the ambassadors who are able to participate, because you are the keys to bringing this WW work to city workplaces in many cases. So that was early in 2020, and just on the heels, in March, COVID really changed the way we all have been interacting with our workplaces and interacting with each other in many ways. So workplace workshops were discontinued, and virtual workshops had begun. And many of you, I hope, may have had the opportunity to engage with some of the virtual workshops that are available from WW. More recently, I think last July, we began the employee-specific virtual workshops that were closed only to New York City employees. So there are some of those that are available, and Kathleen will speak more about that. But given the changes, we also were able to negotiate some changes in the rates and fees that are charged or that are available to you for WW. So Kathleen just gave the pricing, but a fee vacation was allowed for members who had been members within COVID. We understand that the availability of WW activities, availability of the offerings were limited due to COVID. So we were able to get a fee vacation related to that. And the reduction in costs is, again, going to be sustained for a while, for the next few months at least, because we understand that those who previously had access to workplace workshops don't now. And though there are the virtual options, we still were able to, again, negotiate this reduced fee given some of the changes that are part of the current realities of interacting with the program. So that's just some background from 2020. And I know that we will speak about what we're looking to do moving ahead and what's available to you now. So I'll pass it back to Kathleen for that.
Great. Perfect. So like I had mentioned earlier, we now have those virtual workshops that are exclusively meant for city employees. So just here is a table of the different days and times that they're offered. You can see there's a lot of variety, and a lot of different coaches. All of them are great coaches in the New York City area. All bring something a little bit different to the table. But also, just to preface, you do, if anyone asks, you have to be a Workshops Plus digital member in order to access these special virtual workshops through the city. So now I just want to show you, because there is a lot of questions around this. I'm going to stop sharing this screen for a little bit and move to another one. Okay, so if anyone asks you about it, or if any of you have any members and have not gone to this site yet, I just want to show you where you can go, because this is a pilot, and because we want to keep it exclusive to city employees, Unfortunately, at this stage, there's a little bit of hoops you got to jump through in order to access it. But you want to go to www.com/US/NYC from your phone. So this must be done through a phone. Unfortunately, it cannot be done through your desktop. So when you go there from your phone, you're going to scroll down. As you can see, there's a lot of good information here just about the partnership. But instruct members to go all the way down. And you're going to see you've been invited. I saw something in the chat about repeating the website. It's www.com/US/NYC. Okay, so when you get to this point, maybe someone's not a member. If they're not a member yet, they're going to have to sign up first and become a Workshops Plus Digital member. And then once they do that, they can come back to the site and access the special group. But if you are a member, you're just going to go to Let's Go. It's going to take you right there to the City of New York page. And there you're going to see the same table, the list, the schedule for the virtual workshops. And, decide which is best for you. You can either put it on your own calendar to remind yourself. And then when the time comes of that, whatever day and time you end up deciding to go to, and you can attend as many as you want. If you want to attend all of these, that's perfectly fine. You'll just have to go to this Zoom link and click on it. And you can also, a lot of people just dial in. A lot of people like to go on walks as they're listening to their workshop. So people can call in as well if they feel more comfortable. And they do not have to go on camera. It is, completely up to them how they want to, experience the virtual workshop. So I just wanted to make sure you had an idea of that because it's a little tricky. Perfect. And of course, Athea and I cannot go without saying that you have made an incredible difference. 2020 was really tough, especially for the city. The city was hit like one of the hardest out of all cities like in America. And just to see the type of results we did is quite impressive, and that people were, wanting to make a difference in their health, and you were there to help them find the tools and resources they needed to find WW if they needed that support. So I just want to call out in 2020, a total of 35,027 total net pounds were lost, which is incredible. There was 8,233 new members joined the program in 2020. And then 93 people made Lifetime in 2020. That's so cool. And Lifetime is, you'll actually hear one of our ambassadors, a special speaker today, talk a little bit about it. But Lifetime is what we call when you reach your goal and sustain it. So it's a very cool place to make, and it's quite impressive that 93 people, despite the struggles that we all had to deal with this year, 93 people made Lifetime. And then we were so proud of our 68 in-person workshops in the workplace that we had, from like the NYPD to like BOE. There were so many different workshops at many different places. And it's unfortunate that we can't have them right now during this time, but they were great to have. And we had great coaches and ambassadors help to keep those thriving when we did. So thank you all for that if you were one of those who helped. And then, but we have these now 6 exclusive virtual workshops, which we're very excited about and want to bring more people to them and know that they have this benefit available. And now I'm actually going to pass it over to Connie Harper Castle. This is very special. Like you all, Connie is an ambassador, but also a member of WW, and she has a great story to tell, and she graciously was willing to share it with us today. So I'm going to pass it over to Connie to talk to you all a little bit about her experience with WW and just everything she did with her location to make WW a priority. Connie.
Hi, this is Connie Harper Castle. I work for the Board of Elections for the Manhattan office on Varick Street. I've been a WW member since the 80s, and during that time, I reached my goal. But like a lot of goals in life, you reach them and then you unreach them. And with WW, because I didn't stay on maintenance, I did not keep my goal. But being on WW is like riding a bike. You never forget how to do it. So every time I would see myself getting heavier than what I wanted to be or eating unhealthy, I would just revert back to my WW training and get back on course again. And because of that, I was so excited when I saw that the city was offering WW at a discount to staff members, to employees of New York City. I immediately jumped on board, ran around my office like a crazy woman, and had people sign up, telling them the importance of it, telling them that it wasn't a diet, that it was a lifestyle, that they could eat everything they wanted to eat, and they would be able to reach their weight goal. I was able to register about 25 people, and we all started out together. Some people dropped off, but I wound up having a core people of about 12 to 15 people who stuck with it through 2019 up until we got hit with COVID. At that time, we were having in-office classes, so it kind of been hard for us to transition to virtual and not have the help of our facilitator that we got so accustomed to, laughing and joking and sharing stories about eating habits. But right now, since we're back again, I am going out again. I'm going to share this news with everyone, and hopefully, prayerfully, we'll all come back together again and virtually get back onto WW and get these COVID pounds off of us. So I am very excited. One time, people didn't think that WW was working, but once they saw the core group starting to drop pounds and going down in size and eating differently, seeing is believing. So you don't worry about those who come and leave. When they see the great work that the core group is doing, they'll be back. So I just want to encourage everyone. This is now a good time for us, while some of us are working from home, to get good, healthy habits in. It's hard to eat good when you're home. It's hard to exercise when you're home. With the help of WW, we can do it. So thank you for allowing me to share this with you today.
Thank you so much, Connie. Yeah, couldn't have said it better. Just like it starts with the ambassadors and being there for people who want the help. And it's so impressive, like 25 people. Seeing is definitely believing. It works. So we launched it this end of November, early December of last year. And essentially what it is, it's our most holistic, customized program yet. As I said, like we're incredibly focused on the latest science and want to be, focus on those pillars and approach wellness, just not from the nutrition lens, but from all those different lenses. So it's more of a holistic lifestyle change. And we know that people, no one loses weight the same. In the past, we only had one way for people to live the program. And when we launched MyWW, that came with 3 different ways to live the program. So there's the green plan, the blue plan, and the purple plan. That was what was new last year. And we had our members take a personal assessment when they first joined, asking them questions. It was asking them about their current eating habits and what they needed help with. And then we have an algorithm that funneled them to the program that we believe is best for them. And I'll explain just a refresher quickly of these 3 different plans. So first off, whichever plan you get, every food is assigned a points value. That is like a currency in WW. And it's going to be a little bit different. That number of smart points, we call them smart points, they're going to be a little bit different in each plan. And then everyone, every individual, based on their height, weight, gender, and age, is going to get a points budget that's specific to them. So we have that because like a 5'2" woman is going to have very different nutritional needs than like a 6'3" man. So on the green plan, For this one, you get a fairly big budget, depending on, you're going to, no matter like if you're the 5'2" woman or 6'3" man, it's going to be a big budget of points that you can use throughout the day. And then we have foods that are low risk of overeating and also good for you. And those are 0 points. We call them our 0 point foods. So on the green plan, most fruits and veggies, almost all of them, the fruits and non-starchy vegetables are 0 points. So you have a lot of different 0 point foods to choose from. And then you can also, use foods like in your budget. On the blue plan, you have a little bit more, actually a lot more 0 point foods. So in addition to fruits and veggies, then there's also lean proteins, so skinless chicken breast, skinless turkey breast, shellfish, seafood, like lobster is 0 points on the plan. Lentils, non-fat Greek yogurt, so much stuff is 0 points foods. But you have a moderate budget to use. So it's going to be a little bit less of that daily budget that you would get with the green plan. And then finally, this is actually the plan that I'm on, but this is, you have over 300 foods that are assigned a points value of 0. And that includes everything I just mentioned. You get the fruits and vegetables, 0 points, and the lean proteins, but then also potatoes, whole wheat pasta, quinoa, oatmeal, that is all 0 points as well. But you have a pretty small daily budget that you can use each day. It really just depends on your personality, or your lifestyle. No one plan is better than the other. It really is meant to be like what's best for you. So I don't really like to do that much tracking. That's why the purple plan ends up working more in my favor. But some people like to be more held accountable. They like to do the tracking because it keeps them on track. So they probably like the green plan. And then we have a lot of members that are run of the mill. They like the blue plan. But like I said, not one is better than the other. So that's what came with My WW, just as a refresher. But then what's different with My WW Plus is that we become even more personalized. So the assessment that a member signs up with when they first join WW is a little bit longer. So we're asking a little bit more from them just about what are your dietary needs? Do you have any food preferences? What is your activity like? Do you need help with sleep? Just really getting to know that individual so we can better help them meet their personal goals. And so here are a couple of the features that are helping members meet those personal goals for them and making it a more personalized program. So we have that starting point with the assessment, and then a detailed weekly progress report. It's a non-judgmental report that you get each week. And it's just gonna, if you were tracking your sleep and, we picked up on looks like you didn't have a good night's sleep, here are some recommendations that we'd like to provide you with to help you get better sleep. Or maybe you weren't drinking enough water, things like that. An action plan, we can help you set up goals for the upcoming week and small achievable ones. A recipe suggester. So this is my favorite. When COVID first started and, everyone was grabbing frozen food and canned foods, I still have just random things like that in my cupboard. So if I have gone grocery shopping a while and I only have a can of beans, some frozen veggies, some rice, I can just plug that into the app and it's going to come out with something that's in my SmartPoints budget and also healthy and delicious. A meal planner. We know that when people stick to their meal plan, they're going to have better results because they're less likely to order out or veer off track of their goals. So that is something we're continually to tailor and help our members with. And a personalized recipe carousel. So back to that assessment that the person fills out, if they're kosher or gluten-free, dairy-free, vegan, whatever it might be, and just what our app picks up from the recipes that you choose, we're going to make sure that the recipes we're providing that person are most relevant to them and in their understand their taste buds and what their dietary preferences are. And then 5-minute coaching. That is more, if you just need quick coaching, you can listen to Dr. Allison. She's one of our behavioral health psychologists at WW, and she has some great 5-minute coaching just on how to, if you're feeling like you're stress eating or you just need a little bit of help, you can listen to her 5-minute coaching sessions. at any time. And then as a reminder of all these other great tools just within the WW app, we have the food tracking, activity tracking. We sync with almost pretty much all devices. So if you have an Apple Watch or Fitbit, you can sync it to the WW app, so you're tracking your activity. We have partnerships with FitOn and Active. Nothing additional that the person needs to access. It's right in the WW app. And these are virtual and audio workouts of all kinds. Sleep, I mentioned already, you can do your sleep tracking. We offer advice on how to get better sleep, and you can also sync it with any other trackers you have. Our partnership with Headspace, our library of meditations continues to evolve, and we offer more. And that barcode scanner I mentioned is also continuously like one of our most favorited features. But then I want to highlight Wellness Wins because a lot of current members forget about it. Because the more that the member is engaging with the app, the tracking that they're doing, when they're tracking their food, tracking their activity, they're actually earning wins. We're rewarding them for practicing healthy behaviors. And they have the choice then to redeem for these wins. And that unlocks like different products to our WW store. And if they have a lot that they can redeem like over time, that can even be like experiences, like a massage or a gift card to Rent the Runway or REI. We have a lot of cool wellness partners within our Wellness Wins program. But the coolest thing is most people end up using Wellness Wins to donate, and to donate through our WW's charitable organization called WW Good, which provides fresh fruits and veggies to those in need. Okay. So now Fia and I want to tell you just a little bit about how you all can continue to help us like be advocates of the WW program. We're so grateful. Just these are the best practices that we notice that we'd love to just highlight here again to keep doing what you're doing that you do so well at. Of course, you have the option to participate in WW, but just knowing that it's available and you can instruct people where to go to find those virtual workshops, and be a resource for all information WW. I will be providing a monthly newsletter. We have updated it, so that's why you haven't received one maybe in a while. But that's going to have the latest promotions and updates on the WW program. Of course, if you need any additional materials, reach out to Afia or I. But you can use a lot of great stuff that we'll be providing you in those monthly newsletters. And like we're doing today, now you know about my WW Plus, and if anyone comes to you with questions about it, you're the expert. Of course, reach out to me if there's any questions, and just be the liaison between WW and employees at the city. Afia, anything to add?
No, we appreciate the support that you all provide. And one perk we kind of think about too is that you can be the first to know about items, promotions, and things that are available through WW. So we do appreciate your participation. And, we're on the call today to discuss more sort of what you're doing, what challenges you might be having, and we can work together to make sure that the partnership is happening the best way it can at the work sites or with your work sites, with your agencies, even though we're in a virtual space at this time.
Great. Perfect. So where can you find more about all the information you need? So we have a whole library of tools and resources for you. I encourage you all to visit the Ambassador webpage listed here. You'll also be shared this deck or these slides after this call. But I would just bookmark it or just make sure you're familiar with it, because all the evergreen documents that you can use at any point throughout the year are housed at this site. So if anyone needs help signing up for the program, that information is stored on this site as well. Like I said, the monthly newsletters, we're really excited to share out with you in a couple of weeks. So those have just attachments that you can share out immediately with employees. And then we know that you probably get a lot of questions, and there's so many. So we want to make sure that you have a whole FAQ of any question that might come your way. So look there first if there's any unique question that you might find or get from an employee. And we have different like special offers throughout the year. This is the one we have currently. We'll have many more, but this is the one that's going on right now. And it's a really cool kit. Lots of cool products of our latest products from our store, some utensils from our kitchen line. But these are how the promotions generally work. So an employee, an eligible family member will need to sign up for any two of the plans, the digital plan or the workshops plus digital plan. They'll just need to do it before a certain time. In this case, they got to do it before February 28th. They can sign up at the www.com/us/NYC site. And then afterwards, they will need to redeem for their prize for this kit. So as long as they redeem before March 14th, they'll get their kit. So this information can also be found on that www.com/us/NYC site, and also on any materials that you'll get around promotions. It'll include the redemption information. Nathia.
Yeah, thank you for all of the content you provided, and ambassadors who are on the line, folks who are on the line, we appreciate your feedback and letting us know how you plan to use this information and sort of your understanding about it all. We definitely want to make sure that you can stay connected with us. So the information is provided here. You can reach out to me at my email for items specifically about WW within the city, sometimes registration considerations, things about your workplace workshops or alternate ways to, be in communication with your colleagues, even if you are working virtually, or for those who are in the office still, but, don't have access to the workshops. I wanted to also mention Emoja usually is the point person for all things ambassador work, but for WW specific elements, I definitely can be supportive. And then lastly, when people are coming to register and sometimes have problems with registration, they're directed to the Workwell NYC or workwell@olr.nyc.gov email. And I'm actually the one who responds to those inquiries. So, those are the things you can contact me for, but we definitely want to stay in touch. Even though we're, not able to be physically connected, we still can be connected virtually. So we invite you to stay in touch with us. Kathleen, is there anything else you want to add about why they might be in touch with you, or any other details about your staying connected?
Perfect. Yeah, so my email is here, but anything related to WW, if someone comes to you with a unique question on how to sign up, or they're having trouble signing up, you can certainly reach out to me. Also, if there's, we're sending those newsletters, and hopefully you can use the information provided. But if there's anything else unique that you think would resonate better with your colleagues, please let me know, and we'll, Afia and I will work together to provide you with something.
So we actually would love to address some of the questions that came into the chat, and then also open it out if there are additional questions that are surfacing, whether you want to add them into the chat, or if you feel like you want to be unmuted and have an opportunity to share that way as well. But I'll speak to the first few that have come in. One question was about bookmarking the page, and I can address that question. It's really specific to your device and how you might bookmark web pages. So you can just, go to the web page based on what we gave you already, the www.com/us/NYC. And once you're on the website, in some devices, it might be a star or, bookmark or something like that. So you can have that easily accessible to you. Another question we got, thank you so much, Kathleen, for visually walking folks through how to access the closed the private virtual workshops. But there was a question about accessing those directly from the WW app. Can you speak to that?
Yes, unfortunately, because it's so, we want it to just remain closed to city employees, you're not going to be able to find it in the WW app by simply typing City of New York. So you do have to access it that way, through that www.com/US/NYC site and go scroll down and click Let's Go. So it does have to be done that way. If anyone you encounter tries that and has issues, that's another reason you can reach out to me. If you direct them to me, I can help get them added.
Thank you, Kathleen. So that's the steps. Just because of privacy, considerations, we want to make sure that those who are eligible for access are the ones who can access it. So that's the way that you're directed to join. We had someone on the line who is on the line and who just tried it and had an issue. So, reach out to Kathleen directly, let her know you need help and she can add you in, or, verify what's going on. So one other question answered there. Another one I'll ask about is lifetime members and the ability for them to connect with weigh-ins, because workshops in the workplace aren't happening in NYC more generally, but specifically the ones in the workplace aren't happening. So Kathleen, if you can speak to how folks who are lifetime members, can still be connected for the weigh-in to confirm that status.
Yeah, that's a very good question. We realize that's a hurdle and people don't feel comfortable going in person to get their way in. So from now through, I believe June, that is being waived. You can go to the WW homepage for details on lifetime membership, but that part, we're not having people go in if they don't feel comfortable, like at least till June. That could change.
Do you want to verify about the WW homepage? I know that folks usually interact with WW through the www.com/US/NYC for our program, but is there a different space that they'd go to access the information about lifetime membership and weigh-ins?
Yeah, there is two different ways. So you can go to the WW consumer site. There's an FAQ that has every question imaginable, and it will have that lifetime questions. But also another feature in our app is our 24/7 chat. So members can also go to that chat, ask that question, and it's not an AI that's going to be on the other end. It's actually a WW coach, and they can answer questions like that for you.
Thank you. One of the other things that was brought up, as folks have different access to the coaches that used to be the coaches in their workshop, concern about the reduction of coaches more generally. So I guess being afraid that the coach that used to be with them perhaps may still have workshops that are happening virtually. Maybe how to connect with the coaches in that way, or just concern about maybe the coach not being sustained. I think that's what the question is.
Yeah, that is like a big thing, that people get so connected to their coaches. They really love the people they had. So actually a new this is actually pretty new to our WW page, but there's a workshop finder. And at that workshop finder, this is off the WW page, you can type in the name of your coach that you like and find their schedule. So you can follow them and see what workshops that they are offering.
Okay, so it seems like the possibility still of how you look for the coach that you like. And one strategy perhaps is, and this is something that I heard, was happening at least some work sites, is that if you have a coach who is your preferred coach, but of course they're not, no longer doing a workshop at your work site, even if the timing of their workshops aren't the same as you used to, as they used to be at your work site, you might still be able to connect with the coach and invite others who are at your work site who also, appreciate working with that coach to connect during the same workshop. So there isn't the same intimacy as an in-person session, but you guys might all still be on the line at the same time with the same coach. So that might be an alternate way to connect.
That's a great point of view.
Kathleen, do you see the items coming up in the chat? Is there anything that you saw that you feel like you want to go into more detail about, or seems like we might have addressed the items?
See, I think we got everything.
This may be a time. Oh, okay. Issues with not finding the name of the coach, maybe, or the coach no longer being accessible through the Find Your Coach tool. That might be a consideration also, it seems like.
Hmm. Interesting. Message me or email me if there's someone specific you're looking for. I'll find them. So I would recommend doing that.
I wanted to also just hold a little space for any other sort of successes or workarounds folks might have been able to find during this time. I know that we're in a unique time. Connie mentioned the COVID pounds, and that's a interesting way of sort of naming it. But in addition to weight management, just all of the way that we were working before has changed. So things that you might have been successful before doing, are not as easy to come by now. So I don't know if there's anyone who has ideas or suggestions of workarounds that they've worked, or questions about how to get creative in this time. So we can take a few minutes to discuss that if there are anything that you wish to add. I know one of the things that we discussed might be making sure that communications get to the people the way that they need to be reached. So in some cases, maybe the communication tool you used to use might not be as accessible. Perhaps flyer posting was something you did before, and that might not work as well now if people are more working virtually. Maybe connecting in new ways might be helpful, or if there's a better email address for you to be connected with, letting either Kathleen or myself know that those, to connect you with your personal email as opposed to your work email, if that's a better tool. Or a workaround for the in-person workshops if folks are still in the office at the same time. Maybe there's a way that you guys can connect, in a safe, socially distant way, even without the coach, and that might be something that might be helpful for those at your work site. Or virtual connections, like I mentioned already, kind of finding the same coach that you worked with before, and choosing to all go on at the same time, that even if you're not doing the private workshop. So those are just some ideas that I had. But like I said, if there's anyone who wants to populate in the chat, some things that you were thinking about or some things that you have done, this is a great time to sort of bounce them off of others who are in the same predicament, maybe being met with similar challenges. So that concludes our presentation. We really do appreciate your participation today, and we appreciate your continued participation. So any final words if you'd like to add, Kathleen?
Yeah, I can't thank you all enough. Very appreciate your support of the program. And, one thing that I'll just let you know you can take away with is that weight loss and making these changes in your life are so personal to people. And, we just want to make sure that these resources are available. People know who to go to and where to look when they're ready to make these changes. So thank you for being that person. Certainly appreciate it. And of course, reach out to me if you didn't get your questions answered today.
Thank you all. Again, that concludes our presentation. Bye for now.